Hello Meenakshi.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Do you believe in New Year resolutions?
I always try to take this as an opportunity to make a New Year resolution. However, if I'm able to pull it through the first 3 months, I'm happy.
Did you pull it off?
Yes,
in the past?
I did. Yeah, when I was in my 12th standard, I kind of promised myself I'm going to set a routine that I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm going to do this and study 8 hours a day when I was preparing for my medical exams. And I actually pulled it off. In fact, there were days when I went up to 16 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So, I heard that for this year, your resolution is to avoid
social media. Yes.
How's that going? Today is Jan 3rd.
I know. Luckily, because I'm busy with interviews and promotions, so my screen time is a little less. Kani adi maintain cheyali is my goal for this year, and hopefully, I think I'll get there.
What's the average like?
The average is 3 hours, 4 hours, which is actually unnecessary. Imagine 3-4 hours of my life I wasted doing nothing but just watching reels for nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. The algorithm is tuned in.
Exactly.
You just open that and just doom scrolling.
It is. And I feel like 3-4 hours of my life, I could have done something so much more productive that I actually enjoy and not feel bad about reading something bad and then keep thinking about it. So that wastes more time of mine because I'm then caught up thinking about something I read. So it's just a cycle and it goes on. So I don't think it's healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to that. This is like a festive tradition for me that every time there is a festival, you get to interview Meenakshi. And we used to open our interviews with this question.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yes.
What are you reading right now, Meenakshi?
Oh God. Right now, I am reading this book called The Flip Life, which is by Amit Dhawan. And so this last year has been a very challenging year for me. And I felt like this was that, it's like a comfort book. It's like that warm hug that you get at the end of the day or on days when you're feeling low. And I would just read one page and I would feel good. Okay,
it's nice that you're reading these light-hearted books because I think the last time you suggested some intense. The last time you suggested Renuka Gavrani's
The Art of Being Alone. Yes. However, you'll feel that it's actually also a light read that'll make an impact in your life in ways that you would actually think about and have a perception of how you think being alone is. So I think, and a lot of people actually read that book. So I was so happy that they took that recommendation as well.
I mean, both of us deserve a bit royalty.
I agree. I agree. If you're watching.
I'm okay. I saw so many Insta reels.
I know.
Made out of that.
A lot of them, in fact, on Twitter as well. But I'm so happy that I could get to give a good book recommendation and people really enjoy reading it.
So what's this book about?
So this book, every page of this book is a new story in itself.
Oh, every page?
Every page.
It's a collection of stories.
It's basically it's a philosophical way of telling what anything can be. So it's a thought, it's a quote, and then what that entire thing can mean to you.
Give me an example.
For example, sometimes setting your boundaries is not just healthy but also needed. And that was something that I didn't realize but I needed at that particular moment. Right. And sometimes we're such givers because we're trying to keep everybody happy. In the process, we're trying to put ourselves and suppress how we're actually feeling. And that's not right because the first person you have to take care of is yourself. And then everybody else follows, right? So, and in fact, they also say God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah, self-love. Basically.
Exactly. It starts from here. And then if your cup is full is when you can, pour and give it to other people. But if you yourself are running dry and just hardly making it through, you can't give that.
Absolutely.
So it's very important.
Beautiful. You just mentioned that 2025 has been a challenging year. In what sense?
In the sense, I just had one release, which was very different from
big
the
enough.
last. Correct. So it went through and people are still talking about it. So I was very happy about that. However, because I was shooting for 2 films back and forth, that was happening. And a lot of other things in terms of my own personal space, want to do more and, things like that, a lot of questions. So I resorted to traveling a lot, reading a lot. So when you're empty is when you realize there's so many thoughts running in your head. So, that becomes a challenge to kind of cater to. And I think that is what this year was about.
How do you deal with empty days?
I try and do things that I really enjoy.
Like
I not
reading.
think too much. I love reading. I love traveling. I love hanging out with my friends and getting to know different ideas and perceptions about what they think. So I think that keeps me going. And there are days when you should just sit with yourself because I feel very drained out after a certain point of just doing this, because our everyday job is being surrounded by people, on an everyday basis, be it on set, be it promotions, be it just anywhere you go, you'll always be surrounded by people.
Do you like that?
I'm an introvert, actually. So for me, I have now gotten used to this. However, this isn't something that comes naturally to me, and I do need a downtime. So in a month, if there are like 30 days, I need those 5 days. So
where you're just by yourself.
I cannot function otherwise. I need that recharge time.
So, but you did shoot for 2 films.
Yes.
One is Vrusha
absolutely.
and then
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering why would you feel empty?
There are days when you just miss your family and you're staying away from them. So you're shooting.
So not in terms of work.
Oh, no, not in terms of work. Just in general, like you fighting your own space, your thoughts and other things, because there's so much more to life than your career. And that is what this year was all about. So I was focusing on other aspects of my life, my personal health, the time that I've been giving to my family. There's been other things going on in our family space, which I was trying to get into, put my inputs and stuff like that. So a lot of things are happening creatively, and a lot of things actually. There is movement, however, it's slow. So just because I'm not able to see it, sometimes it feels like there's nothing happening,
Right. Yeah. So would it be right to say that your priorities are changing?
I think I'm more at peace with who I'm becoming now. If you'd asked the same question 5 years back, I would say I just want to work all the time, 24/7. That should be my space. However, now I have understood that hustling is great. However, not at the cost of your health, not at the cost of your people. In the last interview, in fact, I just said, when you lose somebody is when you realize how precious your time is.
Absolutely.
Every second counts with those people. So I try and make sure that I have my mom around. I have my time with my friends, because honestly, what I was 5 years back, if you'd ask me the same thing, I'd just be like, I just want to work as much as I can. 365 days, you give it to me, I'm happy. But now I'm like, no, I think I want to give it to myself. Some days I want to be with myself. Some days I want to travel. Some days I want to just be at peace and be with my family. So I think, yes, my priorities are changing as I'm growing and evolving.
That's nice. That's evolution.
I think that's a great way. Yeah.
It also tells that you have reached a point in career where
Definitely.
Kind of sorted.
Definitely. When I was starting off, financial security was very important because that wasn't something that I had. However, now I have the right people to guide me, and I think I'm financially in a space where I can make my own decisions and choose not to do something just because I don't find it creatively arousing enough. Because I know that I have the financial security to say no to that. I did not have that 5 years back.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Yes.
And we tend to glorify that, right? We tend to glorify hustling way too much. Like hustle when you want to hustle, but also chill when you want to.
When you have no choice, then you've got to do that. But when you have a choice and you can choose to make time for yourself, that's
and it's a privilege.
It is a privilege. It
needs to be earned.
Absolutely.
And you have earned.
I'm grateful for it.
So what are you looking forward to in 2026?
So many things. 2 of my films. One is definitely releasing on 14th of Jan, and the other is going to release sometime in the mid of the year. And a lot of exciting projects in different languages are happening. In this language are happening, Telugu. So there's a great lineup. I think 2025 was the downtime I needed to get ready for 2026.
Yeah, the calm before the storm.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to that, and I'm very excited for what this year has.
Superb. So, Anaganaga Oka Raju, I had asked you this during Saima, and you said that you were not able to even finish a few scenes because everybody on the set would describe how a day on the set would be like.
Oh my God. Okay. So any other on other shooting locations and shooting sets, when you're shooting a different genre, it's a different space because there's a lot of serious stuff happening or every day-to-day life. In comic, because you have to be natural, but you also have to be animated. It's so difficult to be able to maintain that. And since it was my first time, I would always
But you have been a part of a madcap film like Sankranti Vastunam,
Correct.
Right?
However, I was playing a cop, which was like always in a serious space. I wasn't the comic role as such in that. However, I was a part of a comedy film in that space. But my role was still a little serious only in that, I would say. But that would become comedy because my seriousness was what was adding comic space to that. Yeah. However, in this, I am a role which is very hyper. She's over the top in everything and she gets excited for the smallest of things. And her reaction will always be so extra, which is not me.
Right.
So I had to kind of get into that space. And every other day when I'd laugh so much, I'm like, I can't believe Meenakshi is this, because if Meenakshi was this, everybody else would be like, we can't believe it's her. But because it was Charulata, I got that opportunity to be able to play that. And actually, in ways, it was very, very interesting and challenging, but also very satisfying, because I got to be somebody that I know for a fact I'm not. But it was, in a way, very, very nicely put out. So Charulata is a live wire. You'll just enjoy it so much, yeah.
So would it be fair to call this your most expressive and animated performance
so
far?
Absolutely. I hope in a good way.
Yeah, because we haven't seen anything from the film apart from the song, so we really don't know what's the tone of the character.
Yes. So it's going to be that. She's always like this, always happy, and she is an anime fan also.
Oh, in the film?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of those things come in that space, yeah.
What are your references like? Because we don't see women do a lot of comedy in our films.
Right. They had no references, but they had an idea. So I kind of took certain scenes from certain films. Could be like Jab We Met, when that train scene is there of Kareena. Or could be when Kajol was in, what is this, to where Rani Mukherjee and Kajol and Shah Rukh Khan are there. Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, that. So I've taken bits and pieces and scenes which were relevant to my character in that space. And that is how I kind of culminated, and something like Charulata came about.
Okay.
And apart from that, a lot of those other things that she does, certain ideas, certain ways, is very, very new to her. That's her. So that has not been taken from anywhere or inspired, but it just came naturally while I was shooting. I did that and they're like, oh, Idi Bandi, let's just keep this in that space. So this will be her space. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know if I'm doing something. You know, certain mannerisms that she does. So that kind of followed, which only she does.
But this sounds like an Anil Ravipudi character, actually. It's funny that in an Anil Ravipudi film, you played a serious role, and in this film, you are playing like a... Yes. Are you an anime fan?
I love anime. I watch a lot of, animated stuff and anime and in general as well. And I love K-drama. I love a lot of those kind of things. So, yeah.
But what are some of your favorite comedies?
Favorite comedies? Yeah. That's an interesting question. So it's mostly been like in Hindi, because I've grown up watching Hindi films. I love Hera Fairy. Hera Fairy.
I love Hera Fairy.
That's Hera like an all-time. You can never get bored and you'll always laugh the same.
Babu Bhaiya.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think we joke around in our house also, like me, my brother and my mom will be like, we three are this only. One is always telling schemes, one is always serious, and one is always like, I don't know what's happening in that space.
There's a Telugu remake of Hera Fairy. I mean, it's an original. It's originally a Malayalam film which was remade into Hindi. There is also a Telugu version which is also quite funny.
Oh, amazing!
I think it's called Dhanalakshmi I Love You.
I would love to watch that one.
Please check it out. It's really good.
Yeah.
Hera Fairy and
Hera Fairy. Then there's Bhagam Bhag. I loved watching that.
Peak Priyadarshan, right?
Yeah. And Welcome. Like all of those films, like you enjoy it so much. You can never go wrong with it. I feel low, I'll just turn on one of those films.
Welcome I remember watching Welcome when I was in 6th standard or so.
Yeah.
It was one of my earliest Hindi films that I watched in a theatre.
Really?
Yeah, and I wasn't familiar with Hindi cinema, and I wouldn't even understand the language, but the slapstick humor in Welcome is so funny. Like that sequence where the steering comes off and this Pandit is thrown out of the car. I was jumping out of my seat while watching the film, and I genuinely
the painting scene. It is just
painting. Oh my god, painting. Majnu.
Yeah, I really enjoyed certain bits. They're just golden spaces in its own time. Amazing scenes.
What's the kind of humor that you're going for in Anaganaga Oka Raju?
So this is a very typical way of Naveen Polishetty style. Like we say, comedy has different types. Yeah. And this is more to do with the Gen Z modern way of putting out, where it's not too loud, but the characters have their certain characteristics which is out. But the story in comic space is as such not very loud. And it's very funny because it is backed by an amazing story. So it makes everything even a lot more enjoyable and funnier in that space. Because the situations happen are like so helpless. You don't know if you have to cry or smile or laugh. And then because it's put out in a funny way, it just turns out to be comedy.
Nice. I'm surprised to know this because I wanted to ask you this. Is it just a collection of gags, or is it like a proper story based film also?
It's a proper story. It has emotion, romance, family drama. It's like a culmination of all of those things made into a very funnily put out project.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's that. It's really fun.
Did you see the film?
No, but I saw like certain rushes of it when they were kind of editing on the spot. You know, you have like that, and I would see. So once the scene is finished, we'd see how it looks roughly, and it would come out so funny because you normally know what you are doing, but you don't know what other actors have done. So when they add the whole thing, it just comes out amazing, and it's truly funny. I really enjoyed watching it.
So I think last year you were asked about. So I think you were asked about an advice that you could share to aspiring actors. And I really like your quote. I think it applies not just for people who are trying their luck in film industry, but also to like normal people also. You said, so much has changed since the time I came into the industry. One thing I can say is that don't lose your originality in the process of trying to get somewhere. Yes. Because I feel like even on social media, this is why I said we'll get back to it. Because I feel like even on social media, everyone is just being one kind. It's like a prototype that's happened now. So don't lose out on your personality in the process of trying to fit in. You have to be your own self, because if you are not that, you can be replaced.
Absolutely.
So how are you trying to retain your originality when there is a lot of peer pressure, PR pressure about how your personality needs to be projected?
True. I think the most important thing when I entered the industry, and even before, I think this is one thing that kind of was always fixed in my head. I'm going to be the best version of myself. I don't want to be a second grade or a second-hand version of somebody else. That was something that I was always very clear about. So if you want to remember me, even if it is whatever little achievement I've done in life, it should be like, you know what, there's this girl called Meenakshi Chaudhary and this is what she did. So it shouldn't come about, she tried to be like that. This is who she was. So for me, that was always something that I was very clear about. And in today's time of social media, where there'll be like a lot of comments about your appearances, there'll be a lot of comments about how you present yourself. And to me, the only answer is, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I never force anybody to be telling them that you have to like me. I did not come to please anybody. I came here to do my job. And my job comes with me being who I am. And at the end of the day, if I can't be true to myself, I'm actually lying to the audiences and everybody else that kind of see me a certain way, and the least I can do is be remembered for who I was. And this is who I am. This is 100% me. So some will like it, some will not. And that's all right. But at the end of the day, at least I'm true to who I am. So, you don't have to keep on putting up a facade of being somebody when you're not that. Because eventually even I will get tired. And how many days and years and months will I keep playing something that I'm not, Even a project has a shelf life. So you've got to keep a shelf life to that character as well. So I think it's always best. And the long-lasting way to be the most original version is to be who you are. And people will love you for that.
But did you ever feel the PR pressure?
Never. I mean, people would always tell me, you should do this, you should do that. I never was that. I'm like, this is what I am. These are certain rules I live by. If you are not able to confine to that, it's all right. I will find people who want to work with what I'm okay with. And that's something that I've always been very clear about. I don't know how I get this clarity. And I'm very proud of myself, because even when I was in Miss India, a lot of people would be like, you should do this. This is the way forward. I never succumbed to a certain way or a pattern that people should be doing. I just did my own thing, which I felt was right. And I think one more thing that I'm proud of is because nobody guided me to say or made choices for me. I made my own choices, which are again a reflection of who I am, what I think are right. And some have worked, some may have not. But I learned from that as well. So I think it's always a domino effect that goes into, who you become, and eventually your choices define you. They are you. So now if you are here with me sitting, you will remember a certain version of me.
Yeah, I do. I clearly do.
But if you see that version of me, I don't know if you'll see a difference in me, or if it is more or less the same person, or maybe just a bit better probably, or the same. I don't know. But this is who I am. And people who know me will know that. So I think the pressure will always be there. And you've got to just create your own path, never follow anybody, take inspiration, learn from them, learn from others' mistakes, because you don't have an entire life to keep making, the mistakes others have made. Be smart about it. but make it your own story and not somebody else's story.
This is one topic. This is a bleak topic, but I want to talk about this. In today's age, with AI and social media, there's a lot of nasty stuff happening. I'm sure you must have seen what's happening, and I feel like it's only gonna get worse. As a woman, as a public personality who is out there almost every day, we keep seeing you quite frequently, right? You are a public personality. Wherever you go, cameras follow.
Correct.
What does that make you feel and think?
I think for me, like I said, we are in an age which is so rapidly changing and, moving towards internet and AI and all of that coming into culmination. It can be a boon and a bane, both. Now it's all about the mindset we have, and unfortunately we cannot have policing or controlling over a lot of things because it's too vast an audience that we're catering to. However, I think we can start by just putting in a certain sense of sensibility that is very important. Is how would you treat your mothers and sisters or girlfriend? I would say all the other people out there deserve the same respect. And once you start off with that, I think it'll be a much easier space to look at, because, I am okay to it because I'm gotten used to the fact that I know this will happen. It's a part of the job. I cannot control it. How many times will I block and report and, put out a complaint? There will still be more coming in, But I know that it's disturbing for my mother and my brother when they see something like that, when it's posted on their group or somebody saying, is this true? And it's not true. Me wearing a certain kind of outfit is not what I have worn, but by AI it's been done. It's disturbing for them. They are not used to this. So I think at this point, this age has led to a lot of mental trauma coming in, which is a lot more dangerous than the physical trauma that you would get. And this is much more difficult to get out of. I think it's time that we become very responsible and start treating. I think it starts from here, when you start to think that this is my house, this is the street, this is my street, this is my place, you will clean it. You will think, okay, these are my people. I have to not talk like that. I think it starts from having to the onus of saying they're all like, our space, my city, my country, my people. You will not want to think bad, because I never think bad about my, house or my friends or my family. If we start thinking from that point of view, I think it'll be a much better place to live in.
Like you said, at the end of the day, it's all about people who are using the tool than the tool itself.
Absolutely.
It's people who
it's the
have
mindset. You shift that mindset, you'll understand this is a beautiful place. It's honestly a wonderful place to live in. We all have 70, 80 years to live by. Why do you want
to too much, I don't think.
Exactly, even that, even just statistically talking, if we talk about it, how much are you gonna just put out spreading negativity, feeling good about yourself by putting the other person down? Might as well uplift yourself, work towards yourself. And I think it'll be a wonderful community in a society we live in. And it's very much possible.
Really?
It is, if we start by that. Because I recently went to Japan, and the fact that the culture is also defined by the people. We also have a wonderful culture, but how many of us follow it? So there, they treat you like your own family. They'll treat like their own family. They will take care of you like they would take care of their people. Their house, their street is like their own house. You will not even see a speck of dirt there. So that speaks a lot about how they think about their country. That country is their own. So I would not want to put dirt on my house or throw plastic in my house, right? But we do that outside because we don't think it to be ours. So I think that is where the mind shift needs to change. And eventually hoping it's a generational change. It will not happen like that. However, it's time we start now. So
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's see if the world will become a better place.
I think so, yes.
So, okay. So finally, to people coming to watch Anaganaga Oka Raju on 14th Jan, what would you tell them?
Full fun family entertainer. It's a proper comic space. Celebration time. You only deserve to get the best, and Anaganaga Oka Raju is here to serve the best, and it's releasing on January 14th. So enjoy Sankranti and enjoy cinema, and I'm sure they'll enjoy this film.
Superb. Thank you so much. All the very best. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Likewise.
You so much.
Thank you.